Cheating in games has been a thing since gaming's conception. In League of Legends, we call it scripting, which more recently has become a bit of a problem, with a lot of people saying it could be the source code leak, which I'm here to tell you, really, it's not. Back in 2015, there were challenger scripters playing Ezreal, and in these clips that I'm showing you, it's pretty blatant that he's cheating nowadays. Now, not even trying to hide it, sometimes the evade will even get him close to dying because it doesn't have the human thought of just flashing away from things. Scripts have been around and are more popular in the recent years due to Riot's laziness and just honestly incompetence. Most platforms will charge you anywhere from $20 to $200 a month for an undetected script, which most of them are just copies of older versions that have been updated and use different injection methods or hooks. Everyone in the League cheating scene has heard of League Sharp due to the lawsuit after Riot went after them in 2016-2017. League Sharp was one of the largest scripting platforms at the time and bringing in thousands of dollars every month for $15 a month keys and offering botting programs which can run multiple games of the script to level accounts and resell. Which, if you didn't know, that's how most unranked fresh accounts are made. Using botting programs which simulate 5 to 6 games of League at a time across the 5 to 6 accounts, then you resell them as fresh accounts for people to use. Speaking of botted accounts, thanks to the sponsor of this video and personal partner of mine, Smurf Skins, they offer a free account trial system to let you see the service on a lended account, which you can always purchase after trying it. They offer paying through card, PayPal, and crypto, being the safest and cheapest Smurf account in the market. They offer hand-level, unranked botted, and ranked accounts on the site for sale, along with a trade-in system and reliable support staff if you have any questions. Though the trial system and the trade-in system are currently down due to the addition of Emerald Rank. For the first 5 new members that join the Discord with my link in the description, you will receive a totally free, unverified account. Thank you again, Smurf Skins, for the sponsor, and back to the video. So, you didn't want me to release your name or anything, which is understandable. I completely get that. So, if you want to answer a few questions for me, that'd be great.
Right.
How many scripters do you think are currently in the more competitive servers in Korea, Super Server, on China, EU West?
I think by far the region with the most is EU West and EUNE. Statistically, those are the highest. Population of scripters, and then it's the EU regions, and then it's Brazil, and then Turkey, all those regions, and then it's NA, and then it's Korea has Korea uses a different server than Riot, so
Right.
There's a different so there are less providers for the Korean server, and hence it's also since it's tied into your identity. There are just less scripters in Korea in general,
Right.
but there are still a decent amount.
Okay. So what are the amounts of money people are spending on these scripts for the high elo ones? Because I can understand that there's cheaper ones, obviously, but the higher end.
It's usually $100, $150 a month. In Korea, there's more. They're usually more. Hence, the reason before, where they use a different anti-cheat, and it just ends up being more money.
Makes sense. How lucrative is the business for owners?
I think it's quite easy to make a decent living off of it. Of course, the bigger ones, like BGX and platforms like those, they make a lot of money because they have tens of thousands of users, paying $30 a month to just use their platform, all going to not a big team of people.
That makes sense.
But I guess for high elo scripts, it's $100, $200 times times 100 users, 150 users. So it's still but for those platforms, it's usually just one big dev instead of multiple, like BGX would have, and then it would be that's still $100. That's still a 6-figure salary you're making from it. I think it's not as big as before, where you had League Sharp, where they were buying private planes and yachts, but it's still pretty big.
Yeah, but then League Sharp got hit with the lawsuit for a couple $1 million, if not more.
Yeah, Yeah,
So, what's the incentive for these people like BGX or like all these other larger platforms? Legend Sense is another good one where they're cheap on the cheaper side, but then they're still having like a shit ton of these people that are purchasing it. But what stops them from just getting league sharped and into lawsuits?
there's really nothing stopping them. They're making their money. I mean, they're also all in China and other regions, so it's not like it matters. They're never gonna get hit
Okay.
by a lawsuit. Like they literally can't. So
Okay, so it's people that are outside of the regions where lawsuits are applicable.
like yeah, I mean for League Sharp in specific, they're just Chinese. It's like there's also League Sharp made the mistake of like their identities are known anyway.
Mm.
So it's like it's actually possible to, file a lawsuit against them, but a lot of these are just online personalities and like they're on alternate accounts anyway, like running the platforms.
That makes sense. Do you actually enjoy League?
As a like I played many years without League or without
Like
without
scripts?
scripting, and yeah, and then it was like I reached like the highest like level of play, and it just stopped being fun from there. And I find fun like I understand the concept of ruining other people's like gameplay, but I don't think scripts provide. They do, but at the same time, they don't provide like you can be a top player in the League of Legends without being a scripter. Is what I'm saying. I don't think it
Right.
justifies it, but it's just like it's like a different game essentially you're playing.
That makes sense. What part do you play in the scripting scene? Do you just like script for fun in high elo, or do you like boost, sell accounts?
Um, I've boosted, I've sold accounts, I've done like all of it. I play typically I play for fun.
Makes sense. What is like the idea behind boosting with scripts? Because I feel like if you boost with scripts in somebody's account, there's a good chance that they just get ticketed and banned.
They're not. I mean, there's a lot of high elo scripters that aren't banned that will probably like it'll take months, maybe never even get banned. There's a lot of ways to hide it. It's just giving yourself an advantage. Depending on how big of an advantage you want, you can or will not ever get banned. If like the script is like undetected, of course.
That makes sense. So why did you feel okay with accepting an interview on something like this that can allow Riot to actually do something about it?
Um, I feel like a lot. I mean, in the end of the day, I feel like Riot should get rid of scripting, like at all. I only do it because it is in the game. I wouldn't care like if they got rid of it. So
That makes
it's not
sense.
like it's not really my business.
So you do it
That's
more
not.
so because it's something that allows you to have more fun, but they're not doing
Yeah,
anything about it, so what stops you?
it helps me make money. It's like of course like I can it's scripters can easily get like 90% win rate to fucking masters. And while it's like it's a lot harder to do if you're a legit player because there's a lot more fucking variables that you have to like go through because scripts give you a lot of like features that can help with things like that aside from just giving you like challenger mechanics.
Yeah, because they have like the drawings that show cooldown timers. There
They
used
show
to
like
be
where
the
the jungle
recall
is.
thing. Yeah, the jungle
Yeah,
hitting camps. Yeah,
there's some scripts have like exploits that you can only do with scripts too,
like
stuff like
Fly
that.
Hat Callista, stuff like that.
Yeah, Flag Callista, Yasuo, EQ, Q tornado reset, stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the interview. Thank you so much.
Yeah, okay.
Um, yeah. So have a good rest of your day. So
Yeah.
if you want to tell everybody like what you're a little known for, I guess that'd probably be a good place to start.
I mean, I won't say my real name, but I am a Finnish reindeer herder from Finland, and I like to play League of Legends in my spare time on the NA server because I think it is easier, and there are funnier people here.
Fair enough. You kind of had a bit of a Twitter incident with
With
Tarzan's account recently. What was the main reason for going through the effort of getting his account?
Well, it wasn't the biggest effort. It was more just annoying to do. Um, just did it because it was funny. There was no other reason really.
Fair enough. Um, so League Sharp went down in like 2016, 2017. There are videos of them buying yachts and having yachts with League Sharp on it. How do scripts survive today like they do instead of back then?
Well, I think they just have like increased security and all that because, to be honest, I think scripting now is just as accessible as it was in like the peak of League Sharp. You just go spend $30 on bgx.gg and you can start scripting within the next 20 minutes. Of course, you won't be know how to like set it like the config up and everything and like plugins, but you will be scripting.
Fair. Is it completely on Riot to deal with the scripting problem, or is it partially on the people who script? Because there
Oh
is
no,
such a large number.
it is 100% on Riot. It's starting to get out of hand because I'm going to be honest. I believe that company is incompetent. I don't know if it's middle management, like all of it, just people at the bottom. But it seems any work that gets done anti-cheat wise for League takes so many months just for small detections when it's not that hard.
Well, it wasn't
Like there was a
necessarily a
period
small
in time
detection.
in which BGX had not been detected by Riot themselves, but BGX had been cracked, which means someone else was able to basically just compile BGX and make it free to use. And if Riot was like could do that basically to get it detected, but they did not. So I just like BGX has been cracked twice now, once in China, now there's an NA1. And I don't know. Riot just doesn't get them banned
What's the
until like months
reason
later.
you script then? If because it can ruin part of the player base with such a large population of people doing it.
I mean, I just do it for fun. I don't give a fuck. It's just fun. And I know I won't get banned. And if I do
And
get banned, which happens occasionally, I just unban my account and keep playing. I mean, I have friends, like I don't get banned that often, but I have friends who have unbanned their accounts 11 times, like the same account. And the fact that like a Riot support member is so disgustingly stupid, they don't just look in like the account moderation history and say, "Huh, I wonder if this guy might actually be cheating."
so is it? Are you guys getting it unbanned through like a Riot member, or is it through other ways?
I've seen people get accounts get unbanned through Riot members. There's a decent amount of insiders, but most of the time, no.
Okay. What are the average lifespan on like the private scripts?
Oh, they can
Like,
last years and years. I've seen ones lasting for 4+ years without detection. Um, I don't know. I can't remember how long Brawl Walker went without detection that recently got detected, and they only got detected because they fucked up. They should have never been detected,
so it was
but they
on
made a mistake.
somebody's incompetence, not Riot being like exceptional.
No, it was literally just incompetence from the script dev side, and they admitted it, that it was just their mistake. Because the way that it works when it updates is that scripts will go down, they'll look at the anti-cheat, see if it changes, and then they will just modify their bypass.
Right.
I mean, I think Riot's doing work for sure, but they are doing it at an unacceptably slow rate.
So these scripts that do go undetected for a couple months, better than larger platforms like BGX and League Legends Sense, how do how like crazy is the population on both of these platforms?
I mean, LS is more of a Chinese script, but it has like a few hundred users, maybe 1,000, I'd say, because it is a lot more expensive. BGX's population is fucking huge. It's probably like tens of thousands. I can't get an exact number. I'm not an admin there, but I would say
Okay.
there's tens of thousands of scripters. So if you're ever like versing an ADC player who like is just dodging everything, yeah, they're probably scripting, and there's nothing you're going to probably be able to do about it because the reality is they need a lot of reports before they finally get banned. Usually,
What are the population of scripters in places like Korea where they have a little bit better anti cheat?
I mean, the Korean population is really tiny, but I'd say that's also just because the Korean population also plays a lot on gaming PCs. You can't exactly install scripts on there. Like, for example, the scripting population in China is much larger, but I think that's also because they have less of the gaming PC culture. They have it, but a lot more people there have their own computers as well.
So it's
And
less
also, it's
PC
easier.
bomb
I
in
think there's
China.
more script developers also in China just because of population base. But I'd say like the total population of scripters on Korea is maybe like 1,000 total or a few hundred. Like it's a small, tight knit community.
So you said that getting into Tarzan's account was more of an annoyance rather than a large effort. He called you a loser on Twitter and said that on stream you're a disgusting and shit person. Do you see yourself as a bad person for doing that?
I mean, I think in the moment he was more mad because later he followed up and said he wasn't even mad later on. He thought it was more funny. And to be honest, I don't really care. I have my own life outside League with my reindeer, and he can just keep playing League as a 30-year-old man, dating Stardust, and I'll keep fucking hurting my reindeer. We can live our own lives. It was funny. I think he might have thought it was funny too, though I can be understandably mad. He lost a lot of LP.
Why do you feel okay with accepting an interview on something that can actually help Riot like figure out what they're doing wrong and give them information?
Riot knows what they're doing wrong. Like I guarantee the people at the top, like maybe like Riot Pac-Man / Riot K3O, it's the same person. Like they know all these things, but the reality is there's probably something blocking them from just fixing it. It's like bureaucracy in a large company, and that really sucks for him. I understand he's probably frustrated, but as long as it exists, it's just going to keep getting abused. It's not really like it's an open secret at this point. It's like everything on like Hawalt's Twitter is just shit that's known by the scripting community, and he just like releases it like a year after everyone knows for attention.
So are you
All
saying
these
that
like
Hawalt is just like basically reading through like a cheating website and
no,
getting his
Hawalt is
information?
literally just posting shit everyone knows for attention. Because like the
Okay.
general player base does not know it,
Oh,
but it's
okay.
not like new news. Like if you know someone who's like deep into the scripting community personally, you probably knew all this shit already. He
Okay.
posts. You don't even have to be a scripter.
Interesting. Is there
I mean, I
anything
don't
that
even think a lot of people realize how many scripters there is. Like the fact that there's scripters finishing rank 1, like Juna.
Juna? Who's Juna? Your friend said
Juna
mentioned
is
something
the
about
guy who
him.
hacked Tarzan's account 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. I mean,
Is
I'm
there
never gonna get banned. I have my own private script. Only me and Merskill use.
okay. Is there anything you want to shout out then? Since you are
Uh,
willing to actually put your name out and say talk about it on an interview?
nah, I don't really care.
You don't care? No Twitter or anything?
I just think everyone should start scripting. It'd be funny. Then Riot actually has to do something.
That is an interesting take on it. All right, well, I appreciate the interview. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day, Odin. Programs like Tor, Legend Sense, BGX, Hunbot, Wadbot, Zenbot are the largest group of users and are the reason for the largest population of scripters, especially in high-elo League, which normally is a smaller population. But the cheating population in Master Plus worldwide has risen due to the lack of bans and pure incompetence from Riot. The Tom Kench teleporting top? Script. Drifting Scion that's now fixed? Was a script. Active item spams like Redemption that looked like a beam? Script. Zeri Yumi Duo Q Master with a really high win rate? A lot of the time, it's a script. Same with like Twitch or Jinx. Xerath dodging every skill shot in your game, even if they're not scripting, somebody will probably end up saying, they're scripting, go next. Now you may ask yourself, is there anything in the community that we can do about it? Ticketing accounts with video evidence is the greatest way of getting someone banned. It may take a few days, but they'll probably get banned. A lot of the scripters who hide it make it pretty hard for you to spot though. And as Odin said earlier in this video, there are ways of getting people unbanned. So does it even really matter at this point? But there is an outcry. Scripts are in the rise, and Riot is not really going after them. The most they did was a 25,000 person ban wave, and it only hit a few platforms. It's kind of crazy. that the entire idea behind the 32-bit system removal was so that way they could upgrade the game and they could upgrade detection. But it hasn't really done anything. The source code leak was being sold on a public auction for a couple $1 million. Exploits in the game, like Drifting Scions, took years to remove. And more exploits are being found every day. Scripts are just growing in population, and this is a direct message from the problem. You need to take a stance on this. Maybe implement Vanguard to League. Exploits and stuff run rampant because of your clear incompetence to the matter and just lack urgency. Over 6,000 players in Master Plus across all regions being scripters is crazy to think about, and just shows you that you don't care the same amount as you do about Valorant. There are many ways of dealing with this, and even Odin said, Vanguard is not going to work for League. What you need to do is you need to look at players directly, and you need to look for what's making them click so fast and have such a smooth movement. It's the 12 clicks per second. If you add a detection system that's actually going to catch people that are over-inputting, you'd be able to find them more often. Riot, please just work on the scripting issue. You could even pay Odin. He offered that he would tell you how they worked for money. Thank you guys for watching the video. I understand that this isn't my normal content, and some of you may not like it. But this is something I'm trying, and I think that I enjoy it, because meeting people and being able to interview others is something that I actually really enjoy. I stream on twitch.tv/kbkinglol, and I use Twitter as one of my main social media platforms. Twitter.com/kbkinglol. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Peace out.